You're on a women's exchange?
A women's exchange? All women?
With no men.
Really?
That must
Oh my god, gossiping, drama, girls are always crying.
You all hate men. You hate them.
You're a feminist?
Why? So what is a woman exchange? A woman exchange is focused on the woman issue. What I mean by woman issue is that you can work with like women in difficulty, women who need more clothing, women who need more protection through sensibilization. Example, women like in the street at night, like they need like to feel insecurity. Yeah, so do volunteer work related to that and workshop related to that. You can learn a lot. Believe me.
So the reason I chose a women's exchange, there were a few different reasons. I had a friend who did a women's exchange between St. John's, Newfoundland and Ghana. And she had nothing but good things to say about it. And I was intrigued by the concept of having only women in my life for 6 months. I've always had a mixture of friends of many genders, I guess. And it was a real pleasure to be able to focus on women's rights, women's issues. I even got to work in a women's only facility, the Sundbury Women's Center, which was another special time in my life.
1, 2, 3, 4.
stigma. So, coming on this exchange, there was a lot of stigma. Like being all women, like in a large group, I think people assume that there's going to be a lot of drama, a lot of feelings and emotions. But no, we were a pretty chill group. I feel like there's a different dynamic that we wouldn't have had if there was a mix. Not saying that there's nothing bad with mixes, but I feel like being us as women was good.
So one of the biggest things we've encountered on this exchange is people asking you, are you a feminist? And saying it like it's a bad thing. Even me, when I first came on this exchange, I would think of feminism as this radical concept of man-haters and people who are topless and running through the streets. But really what feminism turned out to be was women empowering each other. Historically, women have been a very oppressed group. So it was great to get to know all these issues surrounding women's rights and all these issues surrounding things that women face every day. So it was a lot more to feminism than just being this crazy radical. I think it's all about human rights and social justice, more so than crazy women.
So, it's true, we don't hate all men. And on a fundamental level, I don't believe that a women's exchange is about propagating hatred or getting together on a Sunday to talk about how we hate the other gender. I think it's about empowerment of women. And that brings everyone together, all genders, to create more of an understanding and to create gender equity.
Exchange was 17 bridesmaids for my wedding. We always had that joke, but not really. I did get out of it an understanding that women don't need to get married in order to be a person. I also got out of it really great friends in another country, and I got out of it a new understanding of what being a feminist means. And it doesn't, as discussed earlier in the video, it doesn't mean being a radical. It means being a humanist. And this talks a lot about the term equity, which means, giving to people what they need in order for everyone to be equal. And I got a lot out of it.
What I get out of this exchange is that when you have a problem as a woman, there's a lot of organization and people that are ready to help you.
It's hard for me to say exactly what I've gained from this exchange because I feel like I've gained more in the past 6 months that relate to my personal development than I have in my whole life. So one of the biggest things for me would be learning that women, being a feminist and being a woman isn't something that's not powerful. That doesn't mean that you can't be everything that you want to be in life. So it was the greatest sense of not feeling alone and feeling that there's so many people out there to support you.
Alright, so when I went onto the Women's Exchange, I always knew that I worked better with women, just since I was very young. So I wasn't expecting to learn so much about myself and about social activism in general that was relatable to me as a woman.
What I got out of